He's gonna put the kids on his name, bro.
Yes, he does.
That's even over. Sons and daughters, did you know that your baby boy has come to make you new? This child that you delivered will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know that your baby boy will give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will calm a storm with his hand? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod? When you kissed your little baby, you kissed the face of God. Mary, did you know? Mary, did you know? The blind will see, the dead will hear, the dead will live again. The lame will leap, the dumb will speak, the praises of the Lamb. Mary, did you know that your baby boy is Lord of all creation? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will one day rule the nations? Did you know that your baby boy is heaven's perfect lamb? This sleeping child you're holding is a great I am. Mary, did you know? Mary, did you know?
I don't think that Murray knew everything that was going to happen. But the song says, did you know? And I think she knew where that child came from. I believe that the angel visited a young virgin espoused to be a wife to Joseph, and said, Hail Mary, thou art highly favored among women. Said, the Holy Ghost shall overcome thee, and thou shalt find thyself with child. I think she knew. I don't know that her mind could comprehend, but she knew something special was going on. We appreciate y'all today. We appreciate the church. Every prayer that's gone up for me, Marvin, what a special thing it was that you did. appreciate that so much. Boy, anytime you don't have somebody else to pray for this old country preacher. Because I can use every one of them. I very much need your prayers this morning. A little frail in the body, but God's never failed me yet. And I'll have to say, if He fails me this morning, Wayne, it'll be the first time in my life that He's ever failed me. Good to have this good crowd here once again. If you would, we won't hold you. We don't want to hold you too late. Ernest has already slipped out to go get food. So we want to make sure everybody gets there and has plenty to eat this morning. Thank the Lord for 102 people this morning. If you would, get your Bibles and turn with me to the 55th chapter of the book of Isaiah. I don't know that I've ever preached from this scripture, but this is what we feel like God has for us here this morning. 55th chapter of the book of Isaiah. When you find it, stand with me for just a moment if you would. I'm going to read more than I normally do. I'm going to read 13 verses, the entire chapter. I think this is so important this morning that we take the entire chapter and read it. We appreciate the song that Hunter sang, appreciate the choir and everything that's been said or done here this morning. Had a wonderful Sunday school in the adult class. We appreciate Brother Roger teaching that. Starting in the 55th chapter of Isaiah, the first verse, the Bible says, "Ho, everyone that thirsteth, come ye to the waters, and he that hath no money, come ye and buy and eat. Yea, come buy wine and milk without money, without price. Wherefore do you spend money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which satisfieth not? Hearken diligently unto me, and eat ye that which is good, and let your soul delight itself in fatness. Incline your ear and come unto me. Hear, and your soul shall live. And I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David. Behold, I have given him for a witness to the people, a leader and a commander to the people. Behold, thou shalt call a nation that thou knowest not, and nations that knew not thee shall run unto thee, because of the Lord thy God, and for the Holy One of Israel, for he hath glorified thee. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our God, for all he will abundantly pardon. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. For as the rain cometh down, and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither, but watereth the earth, and maketh it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower, and bread to the eater, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereunto I sent it. For ye shall go out with joy, and be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills shall break forth before you into singing, and all the trees of the field shall clap their hands. Instead of the thorn shall come up the fir tree, instead of the briar shall come up the myrtle tree, and it shall be to the Lord for a name, for an everlasting sign that shall not be cut off. So you can be seated if you like. That's all I'm going to read. I don't know if you understand or realize that this is in Isaiah, and as part of its prophecy, we understand that this morning. But the one thing that I want you to get out of this is an offer of mercy that God is extending this morning. An offer of mercy that He's extending to all of us. It don't matter if you're saved or if you're lost. If you've never given your heart to the Lord, well, I would certainly hope that this would be the day that maybe God would touch that heart, and that you might come and give your heart and life to Jesus even this day. But this scripture, folks, it even goes beyond the lost. It's also for the saved people. You know, I was thinking, and we used to, when I was at work, we would do a thing, it was called an if-then chart. I don't know if you've ever seen one of those or not, but you make a chart and you say, if this happens, then we do this, or if this happens, then this is the next thing that happens. It's an if-then chart that tells you the process of how things goes, and that's exactly what the Lord is doing here today. And through the Bible, He does that a lot, Gene. If you do this, I'll do something else. If you notice, He told old Solomon, He said, if my people, which are called by my name, will humble themselves and pray. See that if? He said, then will I hear from heaven. It was an if-then thing, and that's exactly what's going on here today. He said, ho, everyone that thirsteth, are you thirsty today? Let me ask you, don't you get just a little hungry every now and then for another little dose of righteousness? Don't you get just a little bit hungry every now and then to have some of them old-fashioned services like we used to have? You say, boy, preacher, I used to raise my hand, I'd shout. No, don't you get just a little bit thirsty for that every now and then? Boy, don't you get the hunger sometimes for them old-time days, them old-time ways, them old-time services that we used to have? No, don't you get just a little bit hungry for it every now and then?
Amen.
Bless him, Lord.
Oh, everyone that thirsteth, let him come.
Amen.
I want to ask you something today. First of all, where's God gone to? Wonder where He's gone to. His ear's not dull. His ears, He's not deaf that He can't hear. His eyes not dull that He can't see. Oh, King David said this. He said in His arm, His hand is outstretched still. He's still looking for somebody today that wants to serve Him, that wants to worship Him. He's still looking for somebody that wants the old-time way. He's still sitting on the throne. He's still looking for a hand to go up every now and then. I believe that He's still listening to hear a good old-fashioned amen come out of the congregation every now and then. Do you realize when you raise your hand, that's not for the preacher to see, that's for God. When you holler amen, that's not for the preacher to hear. There's one that's sitting on the throne, and boy, you better be saying it to Him, not to the preacher. And boy, when you let out an old-fashioned shout, the one that's sitting on the throne, He's a listening for it. He deserves it. He's worthy of all praise today, whatever we could ever give.
Amen. Bless Him.
Bless his heart.
Everyone that thirsteth, let him come. Here it's talking about buying something. Do you realize it said buy without money, come without price? It's talking down here, extension of mercy. It's going far beyond any food
That's right.
that the natural man ever thought about. You could set up a price if you wanted to on salvation. You could say it cost $500,000. It cost $100,000. It cost $10,000. And boy, people would be doing everything to get it. They'd sell their houses, they'd sell their cars, they'd hawk their boats. Boy, when it come down to it, they realized that if they was going to get into heaven, it's amazing what they'd give up to get there. The Bible said, come without money, come without price. So you saying salvation it don't cost anything? Let me tell you something. It costs the nearest thing that heaven ever had.
Yeah. Amen.
It cost the dear Son of God His very life. Boy, the greatest price that ever could be paid, He paid it. But the good thing about it is, He loved us enough that He paid for us. It's already been paid. And salvation now is free because of Him. Because of Him, I can face tomorrow. Because of Him, all fear is gone. Because I know that He holds the future. Boy, it's because of Him today.
Amen.
Come without money. Come without price. We'll be going up a little bit. Kathy said there's off as much of food up there there ever was. There always is. We'll eat just like a bunch of Baptists.
Yeah. That's what we are.
That's why you don't have church on Sunday night after a meal. We all go home with some miserable. We just got to lay down and take a big nap. Guilty. I'll holler guilty if nobody else will, G.
Amen. Always.
But what God's offering us here, it's a meal. You can eat all you want to. It won't make you sleepy. It won't run your cholesterol up. It won't run your blood sugar up. It'll make you stronger. It'll make that soul, the Bible said, eat until your soul becomes fat. Fat's a reserve. Did you know that? I've got plenty of it in the flesh. And I'm not going to get off on it. Why do we have fat? Be fat of flesh and lean of the spirit. I'll never understand that. We'll eat in the flesh, we know it's a killing us, but the very thing that gives us life, we'll be short on it sometimes. He said, come and eat till your soul is fat. I want a little reserve, don't you?
Yes, it is.
Boy, I come on Sunday morning, I want something to carry me through till Sunday night, something to carry me through on Monday and Tuesday. I like to look back and look and eat on those old messages that God sent us, those old lessons that God gives us. Boy, it's good to do that.
Amen, brother.
Children of Israel didn't have this on my mind. Children of Israel ate the food of angels every day for 40 years.
Yeah.
But when they came into the land of Canaan and they ate of the old store, the manna stopped.
Yeah.
Why was that? They didn't need it anymore. There was plenty there. They were in the land, as the Bible describes it, where milk and honey flows. Look where God set us in our spiritual life. I'm glad He don't have to baby us every day.
Amen.
But He said, eat until your soul becomes fat. If you couldn't come to church for the next 6 months, have you got enough to carry you through? The Bible said this in the 6th verse. It said, seek ye the Lord while He may be found.
Yeah.
Call ye upon Him while He is near. Church, we tell the lost so many times, and it's the truth. We're not telling them wrong. But we'll tell the lost an altar call. We'll say, you've got to come while God is calling. Or while He's near. You have to come then. I'm a firm believer you can't just be walking down the road where they'd say, I think I'll get somewhere. It's always taken. That spirit has to be calling. And we'll tell the lost that. Well, let me tell you something else. You can't just be walking down the road one day either and say, I think I'll worship and praise the Lord for a while. Bless the Lord and go on. That spirit has to be there.
Yeah.
You don't have a shouting service every time you come. Well, let me tell you something. You don't have a dried up service every time you come either. If you do, we're not eating. We're not seeking. Because the Lord comes by. We need to seek the Lord while He may be found. We might come to church sometime and the preacher not get to preach. Lord, how terrible that would be. He said, for my thoughts are not your thoughts. And don't you get me wrong, I don't believe in planning the service out. But you wait and see if 90% of the services you have, you'll come in, you'll sing, we'll open up, you'll sing, we'll pray, and the preacher preach it, we'll have an altar call and go home. I'd like to see the Lord just get a hold of something.
Amen. Amen. Yeah.
and just tear them all to pieces.
Bless him, Lord.
His thoughts are not always our thoughts. His ways are not always our ways. His way is as high above man's ways as the heavens are above the earth. And boy, folks, if we'll start yielding our members unto the ways of God, you think the church has grown naturally, and it has, and it's going to continue to grow naturally. Well, let me tell you, it's grown spiritually, but I want it to grow spiritually more.
Amen.
You never seen a ladder that didn't have another rung to climb. And after you get so high, get you a higher ladder, is all I can tell you. Old Jacob, he seen the angels, they was ascending, they was descending on a ladder. We need to get on Jacob's ladder this morning.
Amen.
Let's move on up a little closer as Christians. Seek the Lord while He may be found. His ways, we don't understand what it is, but He wants us to be closer to Him. He wants us to get closer. Sometimes we wonder. I've preached before, Roy, and I know you have too. And it just seemed like, Lord, it didn't go nowhere. But now let me tell you something. He tells us on down there just a little bit, Wayne, He said, my word will not return unto me void.
That's right,
But
amen.
it'll accomplish. He didn't say send, but it was past tense. He said it'll accomplish whereunto that I sent it.
Amen.
That's my prayer every day. All week long, I'll pray, God, don't let me say one word that I shouldn't say. Lord, don't let me say one word too much. Don't let me say one word too little. But God, whatever goes out, may it be what you want. And then it's not my place, Roy, to question what goes out. But it's God's place to send the unction. God tells us if we'll seek Him early. It tells us over in the book of Ecclesiastes, remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the years come not, and the days draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. And it goes on, and it starts talking about the old age and a lot of things, and I don't have time to get into that. But down at the end of the chapter, the old preacher man, he said, for let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter, for to fear God and to keep His commandments is the whole duty of man. I wonder if we're fearing God as we should. I wonder if we're keeping His commandments as we should. And you think about it. I'm going to come to a close here in a minute. I'm not going to bring out this near what I wanted to, but you go on down there the next to the last verse, and you say, and people think, well, what's the benefit in living for God? Well, beyond heaven now. This is this natural side. I want you to think about this. The Bible said, bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that's within me. Bless His holy name. And it told us this. It said, and forget not His benefits. Did you know that there's benefits in living for God? We look at this whole world today, and boy, sometimes we want to get down, but I don't care where your money problems are. I don't care if we got a roof over our head. It's like a lady said down there. She said, I don't have a toothbrush, but she said, we're all saved. We're all healthy. She said, we're blessed. Let me tell you, you're blessed today beyond measure. If you look around, and it don't matter, it'd be hard to do, but you think about it. If God took everything you got away from you today, wouldn't it be good if you're close enough to God, just read your Bible, that you could walk down the road and the trees would bow before you. They'd be out there clapping their hands, encouraging you, cheering you on, telling you, yeah, God's real. God's still here. God's still in control. We worry too much about the things of this life, and God's fed us every meal. He's given us every drink of water we need. He's put clothes on our back, food on our table. We've got it all. We're blessed. If we look out today, them trees, if we get the right eyes, they're clapping, they're encouraging us, they're saying, yeah, they're there. Every little bird that sings that song, He's singing it for us. If we'll listen, God's still on the throne.
Amen. Bless Him, Lord.
Said you'd walk down the road, the trees would clap their hands before you. Seems like life gets rough. Says instead of the thorn and the thistles, instead of the thorn shall come up the fir tree. Instead of the briar shall come up the myrtle tree. It'll be to the Lord. You look at old David, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to come to a close. The Bible said that he got David as a captain or as an example unto us. Took a little old boy, 4'11", took him off the side of the hill, 10 sheep. Made him king of the greatest nation. You say the U.S. is the greatest nation's ever been, you better go back and look.
That's right.
They far from it. Made him king of the greatest nation that's ever been on the face of this earth. Had one old boy, he stood head and shoulders above all the rest. He wasn't good enough. But David, he was good enough. Wonder why. Wonder why God chose David over Saul. What about them nights out there, maybe in the wilderness, out in the desert, watching them sheep? Even after he was anointed to be king, and brother told him, said, I know thine heart. He said, you're of an oughty heart. Said, what have you left them few sheep for to come here to watch the battle? David couldn't come to watch the battle. David come to fight the battle.
Yeah, amen.
He looked at him and he said, who is this? I'm going to shut up again. I didn't mean to preach on David. Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that would defy the armies of the living God? He said, they're not now a cause. We got a cause to fight for them people. Yeah. We need to stand up for our Lord. It don't matter big or small, rich or poor. God can take us and He can use us. And you look at old David. There was times that he was running for his life. And boy, Wayne, sometimes it seems like I've been there. I've almost been running for my life. But you know what? You can still have peace even in the darkest of hours. Yeah. Come on. Somebody might want to pray this morning. It's all staying already. Like what she has on her mind. You might be here today. You might have forsaken that peace. Preacher, I'm saved. Just not living where I should. I don't have that peace. Used to preacher, it seemed like that everything went well for me. But it just seems like now nothing's going right. Wonder what the difference is. Wonder what the problem is. Do you want to come and lay it down at Jesus' feet? Roger was talking this morning about a problem he had. He prayed, and kept giving it to the Lord. Kept picking it up. But he finally had to lay it down in spirit. You got a problem this morning, Miss Becky, come and pray with this lady if you would. God help us. Sabrina, would you come and pray with her? Some of you ladies come and pray. Somebody else needs to pray this morning. You need to lay something down, need to pick something back up that you laid down a long time ago. Is there something you need to pick back up? Something bothering you? Folks, when we see the Christians start using the altar, then we'll see the sinners use it more. Do you realize that? Somebody needs to pray this morning. Somebody's got a burden. I can feel it in my heart. Somebody's got a burden they need to lay down. Would you come? All these pray. Would there be others that would come? Somebody needs to pray. I can feel it in my heart. God help Tim come and pray with this dear couple. Rick, I can come and pray with them. God help us this morning. Lord help us. Somebody else need to lay something down, pick something up, that's up to you. I'm glad to see the Christians using this altar. Wouldn't there be others? Anybody need to come? We're not going to give a long altar call. Anybody need to come? If God's touching you this morning, you know it. You know you need to come. Would there be others? Just a minute, church, while these are praying. That's so good, Lord. You know, thank the Lord for the good service this morning. Hope and pray that something's been said or done that will help you another mile on down the road. Let me tell you something, folks, God's still on the throne. He's still in charge. Whatever your need is, whether you came today or not, He knows it. And He loves you. I love you. It's like girl said, I love you with all my heart. But the Lord loves you more. I don't understand love like He does. I'm not going to the back this morning. I've been threatened if I don't get on up to the fellowship hall. So I'm going to go